The Fourth Plague, a new beginning.
It has now been 15 years since the outbreak. The world that once held billions of people, now only a few million have survived. The air heavy in the smell of decomposed bodies everywhere. Broken bones and skulls lay about. But life somehow found a way. On the outside, as a deer runs, birds fly completely uninfected. The last of these undead creatures died off months ago. Many didn't want to step out into the open for fear kept them safe for so long. For many of the young, the walls are all they have ever known. The once little boy, now a grown man, stands on the top of the wall looking over the field stretching out for over a mile. Not one area near the safety zone was clear from the bones lying about. He pulls out a pair of binoculars looking beyond the dead and sees a deer run into the woods and thinks to himself, life has found a way. In Russia, a few thousand survivors made their lives in the safest place they could, Siberia. Small campsites are set up just miles apart, helping each other with food and supplies. As for the Kremlin, it no longer exists. The leaders of the country decided to wipe out all of the living dead by igniting one of the most powerful nuclear warheads ever built, permanently scorching the earth around the area. In China, a few of the towers are still standing, barely, but out of billions of people that lived in that country, only a few thousand are left. Many of them have lived in these towers for over 15 years, surviving only on what they grew. They feel that the land has been tainted and they will never be able to use it again. Some have even climbed down from their towers just to return because of the carnage they have seen. In Europe, the underground tunnels have become a safe haven, but also at the same time the worst place to be. If it wasn't for the fresh water that flowed through the tunnels providing the much needed food to grow underground. The English were the first to reclaim their land after the carnage. Cleanup was hard, but with help of other survivors from other countries like France and Spain, slowly, they were able to clean the land using the same means that they used during the plagues of the past. There was no longer internet, cell phones, or modern amenities. Fossil fuels were gone depleted completely. Many have forgotten how to refine oil into gas since that technology is lost to everyone. But radio waves still worked. Television would still work in UHF, throwing everyone back to the 1960s, since now it is a whole new generation. Modern tech was not working. Some of the younger children knew nothing of the old world. They only heard stories from the elderly. Places like Australia, Mexico, South America, Japan, even the small islands of Hawaii are wiped out and no one survived. But one did and flourished by keeping sickness at bay, the first sign of the plague. This country did not allow anyone to come into their borders. Now New Zealand has become the new prominent world power. Florida Keys were not too far behind New Zealand. They have turned some of the islands into growing chains for food. Some of the islands are used for livestock, and some islands are used for scientific discovery. Many places in the Midwest of the United States have also survived due to the lack of humans living there. Rebuilding a world will not be easy, but there's always something around the corner to dissolve it all.